Hey guys, welcome back. So this week's review,
Yes,
we're actually going over some old territory with a new version.
that's right.
We're back in some golf ball testing this week, so we're going to look at the new Cut Blue dual core.
Yep, this is their latest ball. They've asked us to review this a couple times, but we've just kind of been out of ball testing for a little bit.
We have.
I think this one's interesting because the blue and even the gray that we tested, the price point was so good. I know we compared it to a bunch of balls, and it was, it was pretty good for the price. So I think this is, with everything that's been written, and you'll go over the features, it's kind of more like a premium ball, I guess. It's a little bit more of the same construction, dimple pattern, and stuff like that. It should be more in line with what people see from, Titleist tricks on those companies.
Exactly right. So obviously, I mean, the golf ball this summer, there's no hiding from, there's no getting away from it. It's been a hot topic.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's been more conversation about golf ball construction and sort of manufacturing tolerances and processes than I've ever heard in the past. And certain golf balls are taking a bit of a beating because of that, and rightly or wrongly. So I think very interestingly, so Cut have come out with a new version of the Cut Blue. We found the Cut Blue was like staggeringly high spin last time we tested.
Yeah, the very first Cut Blue they ever sent us was crazy. It was like the Kirkland ball almost.
It was like the Kirkland ball, and we looked at it in a way like, wow, like we can really influence someone's spin in a way that we could never hope to do it with a shaft or a head or anything like that. It was so different.
To me, that almost kicked off that whole kind of theme on this channel was how often then after that I saw you changing balls in a fit. I think that was one of the first times that we were like, okay, well now let's make that part of the sort of the rundown.
It was one of the first questions in every single, especially irons and wedges, in every single fit I do now, I ask, what ball do you play? Because it's such an important part now, and obviously we've done some significant testing with the Mizuno golf ball.
Yes.
We've done some other ones, but this one I'm really curious about because it's changed a little bit. The DNA of the golf ball's changed, so although it's still obviously marketed as Cut Blue, it's went from 90 compression to 105, so it's gotten firmer. One of the big things to come out of the test my Golf Spy done was their whole kind of softer is slower, firmer is faster, all that sort of stuff, which is it's something we've kind of known for a while. Is that the Pro V1X and that sort of thing does produce some faster rebound speeds, and these firmer golf balls do that. And whether this we haven't spoken to the guys, and we don't have any insider info as to whether that was something that influenced them in their decision to go firmer.
Yeah, good point.
But it may well be. The dimple, the cover has went from 314 dimples to 360. So that changing the aerodynamics package a little bit. Yep. So dimple patterns, obviously dimple size, all those things affect the aerodynamics of the golf ball.
Should that help in the wind? Like, why would you add dimples?
I mean, honestly, it's not so much like there's so many parts of it. So you've got obviously number of dimples, you've got depth of dimples, you've got sort of the dimple, sort of how deep they are. So if you look at something like an AVX, how shallow that dimple is versus something like a Pro V1, which has obviously a much more rounded, deeper sort of center to the dimple. So there's all these design elements to it, and they call it the aerodynamics package. That's what golf ball manufacturers would call it. So different sizes. If you look at
there's little ones.
There's little ones. So obviously taking it from a 314 to 360 is probably the addition of those smaller dimples to influence that aerodynamics.
Gotcha.
So interesting.
It's now a 4-piece ball. It was 3-piece before?
I believe it was 4-piece before as well.
Just the construction of it is different now.
Yeah. So we've got the cover. We have the sort of outer mantle, and then we've got the two sort of cores to it. So I mean, this was something at TaylorMade when I was there, when TaylorMade first came out with Penta all those years ago, and we were kind of talking about 5 layers of performance, and depending on what layer you compress the golf ball to, you would get a different outcome, and the golf ball would perform slightly differently, the speed and stuff. So obviously there's some technology in this, and we were chatting right before we kind of turned on the camera about, is it fair now to say that the direct-to-consumer models from a golf ball perspective are now out of their infancy? And I think that is the case. I think that really has become to the point where, you need some sort of background, some history of testing and results and you know what works and what doesn't to know what you need to change.
100%.
So as a young company, you know, Cut and some of these other companies, Vice and some of the other, you know, Encore.
Snell and
well, Snell's the one probably.
I guess he's different because he was
he's you know, very obviously true. A legendary figure in that field, but you know, the other ones definitely have you know, a little bit less history.
So we'll do our traditional run through.
Yeah, we're going to do 54 degree sand wedge.
Yeah. 6 iron and then driver.
Correct. Will we start with a little Strixon?
Yeah, sure. It's a goodie. That's good. Crisp.
So you were fractionally lower launch with and higher spin with Cut Blue, but so similar.
Yeah, it's close, isn't it?
So similar.
Could have just been the variance and swings to the point where they're almost
to be honest, it could also just be that one.
One was a bit lower
on the low. So you had one low spinner with each.
Yep.
One at 10,800 with each, and one over 11 with each. So very, very similar, very comparable. The thing is, there's no other way to dress it up. It is a win for Cut if it performs like a golf ball that's twice the price.
Agree.
That's what it comes down to.
Like Srixons, I think, are in a good price window because they are more affordable than
a little bit more affordable, below Pro V, below
save like
TaylorMade
10,
as well.
$15. Yeah, they're lower than TaylorMades too. So if you're going to be another 15, 20 bucks under that, or no more than 15, I guess, because it's U.S. pricing. But okay, 6 iron.
Yep. A good showing.
It's pretty much just the quality of the swing.
Yeah,
shot
100%.
to shot.
100%.
I think we picked the right ball to compare it to then, didn't we? It's a good swing.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, you're basically hitting an identical golf ball.
Yeah, it's crazy, eh?
Indeed. So let's get a look at it.
Club to club?
Club to club. So as we said, minimal difference in speed. Launch was down. Spin was slightly higher with Blue by nothing net, basically. 10,800 versus 10,750. Nothing.
It was the same. Lower launch could have just been a better strike.
Yeah, could have just been the strike. Probably was just the strike. Yeah, that's very fair. Identical ball speed, similar launch,
similar spin.
Another 270 spin or whatever that is. It's very minimal again.
Yeah.
You could see the identical sort of flight. Nothing in that. Then the driver, probably slightly outperformed the Z-Star with the DC.
Yeah, similar kind of thing happened. I think I struck one a little higher, and then that was the difference. That's
it. I mean, it's purely a slightly low spin, just going to bring the flight down a little bit, but they were good. There definitely have been some upgrades made there.
Oh, 100%. That's a completely different ball.
That's an entirely different ball performance-wise, and we see just if any of those golf balls showed any wear, because I know you were saying you were getting a little cover on the face, but just want to see.
Yeah, let's take a look.
If you had any bearding.
I thought it had taken a little bit of a shave on a couple wedge swings, but it certainly isn't anywhere near what we saw before with the softer cover.
No, definitely not.
This is it's still playable.
Well, you've kind of hit 10 or so 54-degree wedges. When are you going to hit 10 or so 54-degree wedges and kind of chew a golf ball out like that?
Yep.
So that's
it's done fine. I don't think it's much different than most balls we try. Pretty much every ball we try here that's a urethane cover, it takes a bit of wear.
I would like to do that test.
Yeah, would you?
I would. I think that'd be valuable for us to do that test one day. Brand new golf balls, and just set you up one day and just go, okay, for like 2 hours, just hit.
Oh, this sounds like
54,
what a fun day this will be.
Yeah.
Dance
monkey.
That's a good idea.
And then at the end of it, see how many. So record how many strikes each one is taken, and
I think that's a good idea.
What's going on.
We do get asked that quite a bit. I think there's no doubt there's plenty of people, honestly myself included. I play a good round of golf. Yes, I will play the same ball.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a little scrapey, you're going to lose a ball or maybe two, and there's people that will lose more. So I think some people will just be like, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of people you play golf with that are very steady. They hit most fairways, they hit most greens, they lose strokes around the green or wherever their handicap is, but they're going to end up with the same ball.
I can just hear people kind of watching going, I'd love to wear it a golf ball.
I know.
I would love to throw a golf ball away because it was done.
What's this? Nope.
Yeah.
It's so true. But I think this is respectable for sure. I don't think anyone should be concerned about the durability of this. It's pretty much on par with most.
And it definitely is firmer. That's where we've seen
100%.
Obviously the reduction in spin on the wedge shots. We're not getting any crazy spinners.
No.
It was right in line with what quite a firm cover in the Z-Star XV sort of does. So,
and it was a bit of an accident, to be honest, because we didn't discuss ahead of time what we wanted to compare it against, and we just kind of said, well, let's use XV as the baseline.
Your golf ball of choice,
and they couldn't be more similar.
Yeah. It literally couldn't be more similar. You could take that and play with that without
I'd have no
concern.
issue. No, I'd have no issue. Now, again, as I said, I don't want to be unfair saying, we don't know what the aerodynamics do.
Sure.
We don't know if Srixon's better in the wind. We don't know if Srixon's more consistently made. We don't know.
Very true. All good points.
These numbers are close.
They're
dry ball data, I would say they're pretty much the same kind of performance you're going to get.
I would love to get to the point where we do a bit of that testing, where we do some sort of set up a robot to hit a ton of balls and do kind of crosswinds and downwind and into the wind.
That'd be cool.
Obviously using some radar technology that we know is actually tracking the ball and how it's influenced by the elements. And we will get to do that.
I think so, for sure. I think wind testing in and of itself is so important now.
Yeah.
So many people in North America, Europe have windy. Even here you could say most days are a little bit breezy.
Yeah.
So wind performance, durability, these kind of things that are major selling features would be good to start kind of getting at those.
Absolutely. Cool. All right. Well, great job, Cut.
Yeah.
That was really good. Nice adjustment on some of those sort of features and
design.
It did a good job. Yeah, really,
for
is.
$30 for a dozen balls,
I know.
I think if you're on the fence and you want to kind of stay in that budget, I would give those a shot.
Good for a run. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, guys, let us know if you've tried it. I'd be really curious as to see. I mean, the dual core now has been out for a little while.
Has been, yeah.
So I want to know if you guys have tried it. If some of you have tried the old one and then moved to the new one, and if you've seen some changes, I'd love to hear some sort of infield sort of or in-game sort of feedback from you on that.
Leave it in the comments for us. That'd be great.
Okay. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.